Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I created Magic and Miracles in order to help people of all walks of life achieve their manifestation goals. True story. All the information from me is below. Please understand that in order to be in my coaching, you need to first book the 1 hour session. This is mandatory for any package that you will choose. However, in this kind of structure that I recommend, 2 to 3 months in coaching in the signature package, the first hour session is absolutely mandatory. Okay, in this session, we discuss what it is you need help with, what it is that you're going through, your challenges, etc. I will ask you a ton of questions. You will tell me everything that's going on, like I already said. And if upon conclusion of this session, we both feel like this is the right match, then you very much expected to pre-book the signature coaching package upon conclusion of this session, because I do have a waiting list. And so first come, first serve, obviously. And so whoever finishes the coaching next, you will be the replacement of this person, so to speak. In my coaching, I only have that many slots in my coaching available because I'm one person. So this is how it works. All right. So the signature coaching package essentially represents the amalgamation of all the techniques, of all the methodology that I've perfected and tweaked throughout the 10 years of me being a coach. And it represents an infallible, bulletproof system that if you follow it like a yellow brick road, it will lead to success. And so the people who succeed in my coaching are people who come wide open, humble, and receptive to my suggestions, because I'm assuming you're coming to me because you don't understand something, you can solve this issue on your own. All right. So, of course, this is not a dictatorship, of course, by any stretch of the imagination. And I always, in fact, custom make the coaching for the person in my coaching. However, I do have a system. And like I said, it works every single time if you just don't rebuttal me. I understand that in many cases, people already have gone through to other coaches and read all the books and went to seminars, etc., etc. Nevertheless, I insist. I have done all the research for the last 15 years, and I can say this very confidently that you will never find any such coaching anywhere else. Okay, so if you have any questions as far as that goes, you can email me and schedule the session. Both websites are available down below. I want to remind everybody, and I'm welcome also to your feedback as far as what seminars you are looking forward to by me. But I figured beliefs would be the key central topic for everybody, because this is actually where it lies for you. In fact, this is how I coach. Cover your history first to understand your beliefs, where it is you're coming from, process these emotions with which the beliefs are currently being activated. Okay, some drama, trauma, panorama happened. You remember a lot of things, remember some really traumatic, maybe, experiences. What's traumatic to one person may not be traumatic to another. Um, and we redo your beliefs. We script literally your beliefs. So this is what I'm holding the seminar on May 10th. So next Saturday at 3 p.m. Instead of having a live, I moved it on purpose so that I can show my face today to everybody. Okay. And if you're new, subscribe, like, and share to anybody who can benefit from this information, because I just give it to you raw. I give it to you straight, exactly what you need to do, without any hidden agendas, without any, you know what I mean, mumbo jumbo. Just if you do this, you will succeed. Okay, if you're being honest with yourself about where it is you are. But let me not get carried away. So in my coaching also, let me just conclude that thought. Upon rescripting beliefs, there's many other different processes that I employ, but essentially, just structurally speaking, upon detaching yourself from the past drama, trauma, panorama timeline, you have then emotionally the freedom, the ability to embark on a new journey. Okay, to think of yourself differently, and we're going to talk about this today, and thus completely revolutionize your life. Okay, so this entails then, me teaching you energy work because you're ready, your energy is pure. This is magic upon magic. Okay, it's not witchcraft, it's just deliberately using your energy to create on your behalf what it is that you want, being very meticulous about it and on purpose. And of course, we just one by one, blow by blow, we structure your new life. I go through everything, it's not just SP related. In fact, my focus mainly lies with you because if we fix you, we will fix your situation with SP normally and naturally. Okay. So the seminar I covered, and in addition, I just wanted to also reemphasize that if for whatever reason you cannot come into coaching, there's the video school. Okay, it's the 12 video package that basically outlines everything that I cover in coaching, except you're going to be doing it on your own. So it's still, it's a fraction of the cost of the coaching, but you don't get me, and of course, it's nothing like one-on-one. Okay. So if you have any questions about anything that what I just said, then you can email me directly or comment below. So today, I'm going to discuss what it takes to become the hottest chick in the SP game or the hottest dude in the SP game. Okay. So everybody talks about my confidence. In my coaching, people come to me, I just need the confidence, the confidence, the confidence. So here it is. It really is work. And I want to kind of emphasize here. Okay. In my coaching, I really am big on individuality. You need to become an individual. You can't just copy and paste what works for somebody else. In that sense, like I'm very much living what I'm preaching because I did study everybody, just like a lot of people out there, the Neville Goddards of the world, the Bashars. Sorry for the honking, the Abraham Hickses of the world. But then I formed my own opinion. And this is very much what I want my clients to do and is my message to everybody. Become your own identity. Your individuality is what will take you there. Okay, unapologetically being authentically yourself and really following through what resonates to you. Okay, not just, copy and pasting again something that worked for somebody else, developing your own style. Don't be like me, be like yourself. Okay, would be the goal. It isn't about, not being able to be inspired by somebody else. True, you can be inspired, that's a different story rather than just putting on that person as we've seen in the past, unfortunately, or just basically wishing you were somebody else. The idea is to create right here where you are your golden Buddha status, exactly where you are. Because here's the deal. Side note here, because I'm really inspired to say this, and this thought came to me actually as I was walking my dog this morning. Realities are such a funny business because in the same space, like wherever you live today, in a house or in an apartment, the same space can be redecorated in like myriads of different ways. And yet the walls stay the same. The address stays the same and all of this kind of mumbo jumbo. But within the walls, within the parameters of this theme, this life that you live, you can live it differently. Meaning, on the outside, nothing really has to change. What has to change is the inside. You can still remain, being named the same person, have the same name, maybe have some, definitive traits that only belong to you. But you changing your mind about what happened up until today, meaning about what you've lived thus far, which is what I do in coaching, restructuring your view on what the drama trauma panorama gave you, and it always gives you golden diamonds if you begin to look at it this way. um and reformulate that and start thinking about yourself as somebody who is victorious, as somebody who is always chosen. Because if you change your mind about what you've lived thus far, then you can change what's possible for you today. Okay, your whole entire worldview will change. And so I have some points for you guys to kind of, because I know a lot of people take notes. But first, I want to make this statement. You are the game. that you're playing. You are the game, you are the drug. Okay. If right now you feel like you need somebody else to fulfill you, to assign you this role of the hottest chick in the game, you're going about it the very wrong way. You need to realize that it's internal. Again, the walls of the house can look the same way, but once you realize that you are the treasure that you seek, you're the one who is to give yourself permission to identify as this sought after person, as this person who is the game, who basically plays by their own rules, not really giving a shit about what's out there, what's the competition look like, is there any competition, who gives a flying fuck. You're playing this game by your rules. So in that sense, you are the game. So that you are currently engaged in playing somebody else's game because either you're reacting to something, or you're taking the cue from somebody, or again, you're waiting for somebody else to assign you the role of the hottest chick in the game. That is the entire mistake. Okay, if you are going to be outwardly positioned and chase somebody or beg somebody for validation, or see how they play the game and then take the cue from that, you're going to end up in a very miserable position, in a very powerless position. So, in order to gain power, you need to first recognize who you are. You are the drug that they're chasing or should be chasing. That you don't know that you're the drug that they should be chasing. That's the entire fucking situation. And I've given this example like over and over on my channel, and I'm gonna do it yet again because it's the brightest example of all. Okay, because my self-esteem, when I started out modeling when I was 15 back in Russia, I mean, I just did it for fun because first of all, it I made more money than my entire family at 15. Um, but also it was fun. And for the first time somebody thought that I was pretty. But internally I did not, like, my kind of like beliefs did not change about who I was. When I came to New York, however, at age 17, and I still not thinking I'm all that pretty and all that whatever, and embarking on this journey here in a modeling agency was an entirely different shebang for a lot of reasons, but obviously it's more competitive here. And I was here by myself, no family, no nothing, no nobody. And so this became a kind of like a swim or sink situation for me, quite frankly. Whereas if I did not make any money, I had nobody to turn to. My parents just gave me $600, put me on the plane, and be like, good luck in America, kind of deal. This is what you wanted, this is what you got. And I was like, I'm more than fine with it, trust me. And so, I had other jobs, etc., but modeling was my main situation. And so I knew I had to get my shit together in this department, whether I liked it or not, kind of deal. And so what I did was I went beyond my insecurities. I kind of like overstepped them for the time that I was modeling, any time that I was modeling or doing whatever. And started acting and this and that and the other, all the while not feeling secure or confident at all, I want to say. Okay. And if you saw me, you wouldn't believe me. You know what I mean? That's how I felt. But what it means basically is that I faked it. I faked it because I was watching these other girls and I was recognizing that, hey, wait a minute, they're not any prettier than me. They're not any better than me at walking, or what, or posing or whatever. It's just this the confidence that oozes out of a person is another layer that I had to find out about. You know what I mean? Because again, I was watching them and I'm like, well, I might not be the prettiest woman in the world or prettiest girl at the time in the world, but you know, that's not what it takes because neither they are they. They look really, really normal. The models, like, minus the Photoshop and the makeup, they look really, really normal. And I started recognizing, hey, wait a minute, there's another layer that I'm unfamiliar um, with here. And that is, for whatever reason, they have it so downloaded in their psyche that yes, it's going to be me, but not in a condescending way. The good ones, I mean. You can tell, this is how you can tell a good model from a not so good model, let's just say. One who is genuinely confident does not come across as cocky. Genuine confidence is not cockiness. It's just being so self-assured, like, but of course you're gonna pick me, kind of deal. Like I expect it with every fiber in my being, situation, kind of deal. And so I started paying attention to that. And when you're in a room with somebody, you start picking up their energy. This confidence energy, whether real or not, or learned or not, I started basking in it. And I started picking up their mannerisms and this and that. Now, this is not to say that I was mimicking them, but I started realizing that there's another situation here that I need to master. I need to really believe in myself. I need to be comfortable within my body. And I really need to accept that this is what I have to work with. Okay, it's not gonna change what I have to work with. Yeah, I can put like better mascara, do my hair different, and this and that. But my body, I need to start learning to love myself, to love my body. And I went through stages of it and all that kind of jazz. But essentially, I did get there after I quit my modeling. Ironically, no, but nevertheless, it was a confidence that made me literal money. Okay, that you could not persuade me by the time that I was quitting, you could not persuade me that I could not get that job because I had this so memorized that yes, I'm gonna, if I want it, I can get it. Okay, so to me, this is why I'm telling you the story again, is this is the representation or what it's like to feel like the hottest chick in the game, this expectation level of like, yeah, duh, of course you're gonna choose me, yeah, duh, of course you're gonna pay attention to me, you're already looking at me, you're already staring at me. Now I've also shared, today this belief system in my mind is still very active. I'm not modeling anymore. I haven't been modeling in, I don't know, fucking 20 years or something, but it's still, when I walk out in the street, I don't even have to have makeup. People still stare at me because I already have this programming that people are just naturally gravitating towards me. They're naturally staring at me. And sometimes, it's annoying, but that's the program. And again, I still know that I'm not the most beautiful woman in the world. But you know what? I like myself just the way I am. And I know some of you are going to roll their eyes and all this, you know we're coming from different backgrounds, but what we have similar here in this kind of situation is that somebody didn't do the job earlier on correctly, and usually it's a mother. Okay, it's a mother or a father, but in the girl's case, a mother. Okay, didn't give you the confidence that you really deserved. So I'm going to go through now, fast forward to today, and you're having problems with SPs and la di da because you don't think that you're that. Now, nobody's going to persuade you of this. It's nobody's job to teach you that you're all that. In fact, I will confess, I have sabotaged a relationship or two that I was kind of presented with that was normal. There was nothing to work hard for. The guy was gaga over me. Everything was fine. And I was looking for problems because that's what I was used to. And eventually sabotaged the relationship. So maybe you find yourself in this position today because it wasn't their job, first of all, to pacify me and tell me everything's okay now. You can just let go of the past. And it's also not anybody's job to tell you, oh, you're so great, you're so wonderful. You need to be convinced of this in your mind. And then the other person echoes that. Okay, so we're going to go through the steps because I know you guys like to take notes. And welcome everybody, whoever is joining just now. Excuse me, my Red Bull. I did start drinking tea again, but Red Bull is just so fucking refreshing, man. Seriously. It's hard to let go. Okay. Number one, and this is in no particular order, okay? Behavior produces behavior. If you are the hottest chick in the game, then why the fuck would you be chasing? Okay, if you are chasing. If you are the hottest chick in the game, then why the fuck are you obsessing? Right? So this is behavior means in thought and in feeling and in action and mentally, just acceptance. So if you are behaving like less than, then you're not going to be chosen for the role of the SP, to your SP, for the role of a wife, for the role of a girlfriend, for the role of a husband. You're not acting the part. So if you're behaving less than the other person, the communication goes out on a mental level. I am less than, do not choose me. You're not convinced, in other words, yourself, that you are the hottest chick in the game. And I'm telling you, somebody has to be the hottest chick in the game, either you or your SP. And for me, I prefer that it is you, quite frankly. Okay. So behavior produces behavior. The people always people always take the cue from you how to behave, unless they're not, benevolently positioned, in which case, off they go, get out of the way. Move, bitch, get out of the way, kind of deal. So behavior produces behavior. This is how I roll. I'm the hottest chick in the game. I ain't chasing you, I ain't pleading you, I am not sweating over you. You're going to sweat for me. So it's either one or the other person is doing the chasing. You behave like the hottest chick in the game or dude in the game. Always implied that it's, both genders or all the other genders. I'm all so confused now. Anyway, everybody's included, in other words. Two, become independent and self sufficient, even if you're married, even if you have children. It's so sexy to have your own business on the side, your own hobbies, your own interests, your own ways of doing things. And if you're single, you owe this to yourself. How on earth are you inviting a relationship into your world if you're still dependent on your parents, let's just say? If you're still, if your living situation isn't up to par, you're not self-sufficient or independent. How is this relationship going to come to you? How are you, the hottest chick in the game, relying on somebody else, asking for money for somebody else? No, you need to be self-sufficient. And quite frankly, this is not just to be a nice catch or a good catch for somebody. This is for your own self-esteem. Okay, when I when I stopped modeling and I left my drug addict ex, it was this like period of total eureka, total self-rediscovery. I was like, this is how much money I could have made by myself, because in the back of my mind, because he was so wealthy, I had this like dumbass idea that, oh, he's gonna just support me and it's gonna be easy. These dumbass ideas that parents instill in you, oh, marry wealthy and all this kind of jazz. But in reality, it was a catastrophe because it was so toxic and unhealthy. I was not inspired and I was always like totally depressed in that relationship. When I left that relationship, I started making a truckload of money. And you know what? My confidence, like, skyrocketed. And at that point, like, I didn't care who the fuck what told me about my choices in life or what this, that, and the other, what I wore, how I behaved, which is things that, my parents criticized me for. I knew that I had it going on, not just because of the money, but because I made a decision and it worked. And I created something by myself. Nobody could, like, facts don't lie. When you see a certain kind of amount of money coming in into your bank account, that equals your self love just skyrocketed to the whatever kind of level. And parenthesis here, money is always about self love, self acknowledgement. But it's not just that you can go and buy that extra whatever it is that you're after, the Maserati, the this and the other, the extra house or whatever it is you after, or just, or it maybe it's just a Chanel bag. I don't know, and it doesn't really matter. It's not just that you can afford things on your own. It builds your self-confidence. It's the investment of things into yourself, into that new version who doesn't give a flying fuck what people say and therefore is the hottest chick in the game. Listen, if you still give a fuck about what people say, okay, that does not correspond to your dream, you're losing out. You need to completely cut that shit. If you're not on my team, move, bitch, get out of the way. I don't give a fuck what you're saying. Okay, I know my truth. I know what I'm doing here, and that's how I roll. Okay, if you don't have this attitude, this self-preserving attitude towards your genius, towards your dreams, towards your goals, I don't know what you're doing. You really need to be cutthroat like this. Okay. And if you're too busy paying attention to other bullshit, even if it's in your head, your negative beliefs, you aren't going to go very far. So you need to be very meticulous, very selective to what it is you're paying attention to. Caring about what other people think is quite frankly for losers only. Okay. Because those people are not going to solve your problems. You are. Okay. So self-independent, self-sufficient. You need to cut the umbilical cord. If you have right now dependency on someone or something, you need to cut that cord and thank me later. And I know every situation is different, which is why I offer coaching. But nevertheless, you owe this to yourself. When you're standing on your own two feet, oh my fucking God, the power that you feel, it's unbeatable, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm sure you can imagine. So this, the financial structure, the independent, the living by yourself and all this kind of, or living however you want to live, dream before you can afford it. Okay. If it's a house, if it's an apartment, if it's a money, put it on your fucking vision board. Start getting inspired. Find out how to afford this fucking shit. Create a vision board. Like, for example, I actually brought my perfume today for this. This is my favorite perfume right now. Oh, can you see it? Patchouli Paris by Guerlain. Fucking love this perfume. I smelled this perfume and I was like, this is the hottest chicks in the game's perfume. I'm buying it. Okay. So it starts with a scent. It could start with a scent. It could start with an image in your mind. It's a representation. Who am I really? Who have I not allowed myself to be in order to claim this golden Buddha status? It's right there waiting for you. Don't let me get carried away so I can follow my notes properly. um who am I not letting myself to be? This is for me to discover. The reality is right there, the entirety of time swimming in the myriads of possibilities around you. And if you don't focus directly on it and say, this is what it looks like, this is what I want to weigh, this is what my new wardrobe looks like, this is what my honey looks like. For those of you looking for new SPs, again, thank you very much for the poll feedback. You ain't going nowhere because you don't even know what that smells like. You don't even know what that looks like. Who are you really? Like, if money was no object, again, before you start obsessing about the price, the how can you afford it, blah, 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 it's not the how, it's the what. What do you want? Just go checklist style, right? And if you end up in my coaching, listen, I cater to you like in the most delicate of delicates, the most like 50,000 star chef accredited restaurant, Michelin star hotel, kind of deal. I'll take care of you, in other words. But for yourself, the checklist of what is the representation of the hottest chick or the hottest dude in the game. Like, and this you can do today. This you can take action on small silly things like perfume, like a new pair of shoes, a representation of these are the shoes with which I will walk into my new future, where guys are just falling at my feet or my SP is falling at my feet. This is who I really am. I was lying to myself about what I was capable of before because I was hypnotized by my mama drama panorama parents, whoever, whatever, friends, sometimes toxic friends. Drop all that shit. I give you permission today to drop all that shit in the garbage. Okay, in the garbage it goes completely and forgotten. The people pleaser in you will probably feel guilty, but it's for your own sake. I mean, listen, this is your love life. This is your life. And I'm just giving you what to do, the shortcut. Whether you take action on it or not is entirely your, prerogative to choose or not to choose to do. But I'm giving you what I would have done and what I would have, liked to receive kind of advice on. Okay, this is the most important one. Mentally accepting your golden Buddha status. That is, you're the hottest chick in the game. You're the hottest chick in the game and the hottest dude in the game. Mentally accepting that. Again, nothing's changed. Same walls, same apartment, same house. Also Anna, looks like this, but something changed. There's an upgrade in your mind. Well, wait a minute, I don't have to chase. What if I stop chasing? What is the ultimate fear that if you stop chasing, that you're not gonna get that guy or that girl? Well, you're not getting them already. So what you're doing isn't fucking working. Okay, you're already living your fear that you're not getting what you want. Try another way. Let go and stop being afraid that, oh yeah, what will happen? They will like turbocharge themselves to go fly on the moon and stay there forever if you're not going to chase them. You're the gravity that pulls them down to earth. Come on, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. You need to completely let go and mentally accept that, you know what? If I have to chase, I'm the fucking moron. Not this guy is the moron, that he or she is the moron. We already know that. But you're even a bigger moron if you feel like you need to chase, because that's completely counterproductive. Completely counterproductive. You mentally have yet to accept that it is not about the outside action, it is about the inner conviction, the inner magnetism. You are like head to toe, okay? From hairs to your tippy toes, you're a magnet. So a magnet is looking absolutely fucking ridiculous, chasing anything or anyone. Like imagine the most beautiful woman or the most gorgeous guy that is Brad Pitt kind of situation we're talking, or whatever. Name another guy or girl. Doesn't have to be, somebody extremely handsome or extremely gorgeous and beautiful as a woman is all of a sudden chasing you, okay? Whoever you are, whatever your orientation is, okay? You would be a little bit unnerved. You would be kind of like, what's wrong with you? Why do you feel that you need to do that? You find the way you are. That's you. That's you, darling. That's you the entire time. You look weird as fuck. Okay, true story now. So that you don't know, again, I've spoken about this so many different ways, but that you don't know that you're the golden Buddha, that's your problem. But don't sabotage the relationships. Even in overgiving, you can sabotage the relationship because you're coming out short all the time. Overgiving attention, overgiving in thinking like, how else can I be perfect, or what else can I do for them, and this and that. You're still overgiving because that's a form of giving. You're giving energy, attention. Whether if you just accept that you're the money, you're the power, you're the golden Buddha, and the golden Buddha doesn't fucking chase. If I'm the hottest chick in the game, again, behavior produces behavior. I need to behave like one. And if I'm behaving like one, it's because I 100% downloaded in my mind that there's nobody like me. I'm celebrating my unique abilities, unique skills, and unique powers. I'm celebrating my individuality. This is who I am, and I'm unapologetically myself. I don't think anything is wrong with me anymore. I've accepted myself. This is the true power, and I'm, as I said, unapologetic about being myself, and I don't think anything's wrong with me. Don't you know, instantaneously the forces are reversed, and now you've become the magnet. You've allowed yourself to be this magnet. And if in your mind you're the big fucking deal, you're the hottest chick in the game, your SP is gonna get that fucking message. Sorry. He's gonna get this message, she's gonna get this message. Like, wait a minute. Internally, subconsciously, they feel you chase. They feel you wait around. They feel that you're always gonna be there, that you're always gonna be forgiving, and you're never let go. They can even treat you poorly, and you're never gonna let them go in some cases. Why do you do that? That's not a behavior of the hottest chick in the game. A hottest chick in the game is like, really? This is how you act? No, I don't need to chase you. In fact, we don't need to talk. Ciao, cacao. Okay? As I say. Sorry, 1 second. Let me reapply my lipstick. By the way, can somebody comment, whoever's here, so I know that, I don't know, that you guys are here? If somebody can comment. Okay. Um, or you can comment if you have a question. Okay. Mental acceptance. This is irreplaceable. This is irreplaceable. This is irreplaceable. Don't look to replace it with a magic trick or some kind of magic potion, affirmation, nothing. This has very much to do with the inner work of I can accept good now. If you believe love has to feel like proving yourself, if you believe that you have to work hard to be chosen, it completely misses you that love has to be easy and effortless. If you're working hard, this is not love. You already just, you're polluting it. Okay? If it's not effortlessly an exchange of energies, I say something, you say something, it's kind of like a back and forth. You've just broken the balance. You need to restructure the balance. And first of all, understand I'm worthy of this being effortless. And I give up, forever give up on the idea that this has to be a fucking struggle. Okay. And a lot of you, who come into my coaching, they say, I don't have any problems with money, but in this particular area or at work or whatever, confidence at work, galore. No, don't worry about it. But in my relationships, I struggle because this is just my pattern. Well, give up on the idea this being a pattern. Give up on the, if you're coming into my coaching again, I will take care of you and we'll unpack all of these things. But give up on the idea of it being a struggle. You're continuing making it a struggle rather than, what about if it was easy? And for a lot of you, like, especially I see this in my coaching, when I take my client through this process that I've described in the beginning, at some point, if you're following my guidance, you will arrive to this point of like, huh, it's a lot easier than I thought. And it's such a weird feeling. Sometimes I get this feedback because it's such a peace I've never felt before, such peace. Like, I don't need to run around. I don't need to chase. I don't need to beg. I don't need to plead. It's like, very good. I would say to my client, very good. You're doing wonderfully well. Because this is exactly that's the starting point. The love is supposed to be super easy, natural. That you've already supplied this SP with messages, telepathic messages galore. Like, you're good for, like, I don't know, 90 years ahead. Now you just need to become the magnet so that you can receive this kind of reality that you've invested in all this time before. Now let yourself be the receiver. It's such a good thing to be a receiver of things after you already worked your ass off being a people pleaser. Again, you're probably good for like 100 years in advance. Allow yourself to entertain what it would feel like if love was just easy, effortless. You don't need to fight for it. You don't need to deserve it. You don't need to prove yourself. Again, the walls are the same. Mentality changed. You need to do very little to deserve the easy, effortless, peaceful, completely supportive, certain, committed love for yourself. It's a lot easier. You don't go outside or you don't stay indoors and say, allow me to breathe for a second because I'm sorry, but I'm worthy to breathe, okay? I'm worthy to breathe. No, you just fucking breathe. That's exactly the same thing with love. You just need to let it be easy. I don't go around, like, let's just say, today, as I've said, my belief system is that people just look at me because of the way I look like. It's already a belief, and I'm not going to rework it now. It's just, it served me, and maybe it'll serve me sometime in the future. I don't know. But I don't go around saying to people, hey, please look at me. Hey, hey, oh, you over there, look at me. How ridiculous would that be? It's just a mental program. You're operating from a mental program. I'm the hottest chick in the game. I'm the hottest dude in the game. And wherever I go, success follows. I get whoever I want, whatever girl I want, whatever girl lends eyes on me. If it's a guy, she's in. I can have her. Whatever guy I lend my eyes on, they're mine, whether they like it or not. If I decided it in my reality, this is how things go. It's a world. And if you looked at the thumbnail of the live, it's a girl standing on the stage surrounded by many options, by many SP guys. This is your world, guys. And this is not narcissistic. This is just easier to imagine the work you have to do. If you're in the center of the stage and you are the fucking stage, you are the actor and the producer of this play. it becomes a lot easier to understand how you can attract anybody and everybody to come to you, whether that's business, whether that's whatever, or SP in this case. Okay. So it becomes so clear, and throughout your day, you can even remind yourself it's me at the center of the universe. In other words, it's not narcissism, it's just understanding energetically how it happens that you send out this energy, and whatever you show up with on the stage, the crowd will inevitably feed off of and give you the proper reaction. Okay, you are commanding the entire, this is your world. Your theater is your world. All these people, or a movie theater, however, whatever you want to say. Well, in the case of a theater is more appropriate because you're a person and an actor rather than watching a movie on the screen. But mentally, completely downloading it. They're chasing after me. I'm the drug. I have it going on. I have something special. Okay, I'm not competing with anybody. There's nobody else to compete with in that sense. That doesn't exist. Okay, I have thought that in the past that if it's a third party appearing, that somehow this is, we gotta like compare each other. No, no such thing is going. There is no comparison. I'm incomparable. I'm one of a kind. I'm the golden Buddha. So move over, kind of deal. So this is how I want you to approach it. Make it simple for yourself. Life is really good and simple. So mental acceptance. Number four, physically embody what that looks like. So I'm very much, again, I'm a coach that's very much, listen, you live in 3D, you're going to have to take 3D action. Like, it's not just about like, let me just like manifest it, let me manifest coffee making itself for me. Like, at times I feel like it gets a little bit absurd. And I feel like very much you are an actor in your play. And so if you are an actor in your play, then you need to conduct yourself accordingly. So I just showed you the perfume in case you forgot. Oh God, it smells divine. Not for nothing. Maybe not for everybody. But Julie Paris is my kind of hottest chick in the game. Okay, I love color black in case you haven't noticed. Okay, my wardrobe is like black, black, black. Some dresses I have them made in like a series of sevens because I like the cut so much because I created it myself, mind you, and things like that. So this to me physically represents the hottest chick in the game. Okay, you may want to lose some weight. I hear that. Listen, with Magic and Miracles, when it kind of like blew up, it wasn't my intention. I gained some weight. You guys saw me. I got chubby. I was like freebasing pumpkin pies and like it was water, like it was air, kind of deal because I got busy and I stopped paying attention. But it feels good to lose weight. So I did the 1 meal a day diet, whatever, some cleanses, do ba do. But that's also important for you, not for your honey, but for you to feel on top of the world, for you to feel like a million, a billion bucks. Fuck it, $1 billion. What's $1 million today anyway? So it's for you to feel like, yeah, man, I have it going on. Not just parenthesis here. I support loyal relationships and all of that, but for you to feel like not just your SP is gaga over you, but other men. You can have any other man or any other woman that you want to, if you wanted to. Okay, because listen, I get it. It's an ego thing, but it's important. I think it's important to look the way you want to look. Again, it goes hand in hand with your self confidence, taking care of yourself, being healthy, eating healthy. All of these things are super duper important for you, okay? To just like on a cellular level, representing to yourself what it feels like to be in the body of that person, of that hottest chick in the game. You know what's so funny? I really quick wanted to share like my golden weight, as I've shared. Like I took some time off, a week off from coaching and recording. Well, not really. I kind of like Friday came and I'm like, I'm itching to record something, and I started recording. I recorded one on Friday for Magic and Miracles too, and on Sunday for Magic and Miracles. Anyway, but in that time, I just I relaxed. I chilled out. I took naps a lot and all this kind of stuff. And I lost 8 pounds, but only because I had the intention from like a month ago. And suddenly this intention manifested. And because I allowed myself to rest, something that was very difficult for me to do, believe me, because I love to work and I was, preoccupied that my clients will have a break and this and that, but it went okay. But because I gave myself this permission to be the hottest chick in the game and to take care of myself as the hottest chick in the game, that goal also aligned and boop, I didn't even have to do anything. I mean, I guess I ate less because I was sleeping more. But nevertheless, it just weight just melted off of me because I felt like that person. I aligned with that parallel timeline, if you will. So physically embodying the clothes, the diet, the exercise, okay? If you hate exercise, I'm an avid walker. I walk my dog. Fuck, it's such a beautiful thing, especially now with spring. Oh, I can't get enough of it. It's just like life is phenomenal right now. Building a business, okay? Maybe working on quitting that job. Just physically, how would you embody this person? Okay? Excuse me, I need a sip of Red Bull. Can somebody comment? Is my window of comments somewhere else that I can see it now? Oh, well. Anyway, let's keep going. Whoever hasn't thumbed up, could you please thumb up so it helps me spread the message to as many people as possible. All right. It says interview chat, but this is not interview. All right. So physically embodying. Number 5, and again, this is in no particular order. Okay, boundaries. Boundaries are sexy. Can you hear me? Boundaries are fucking sexy as shit. In other words, if you have no boundaries, maybe this is why you're in the position that you're in. Maybe the people pleaser in you is just fucking exhausted. All right. And because you have no boundaries, you don't have any rules, you don't have any structure in place. Whereas if you do this one more time, we stop talking. Or if you cross this line, this is going to happen. If you don't have that, forgive me for saying that, but you know me to be brutally honest, your SP simply may not respect you. And so to gain back this respect, whereas before they've gotten away with murder, so to speak, with you, and now it's just not that kind of party anymore. New rules, okay, new boundaries. You have to have those, especially if it's hot and cold, especially if it's ghosting and this and that, and yo-yoing and third party and blah, blah, all the other kind of scenarios. Oh, yeah, you want to do that? Bye. Too busy for this kind of bullshit. I'm the hottest chick in the game. Come back when you fix your fucking situation and beg me on your knees. Because it's one thing I'm always, as a person, I'm always like, I give you one, benefit of the doubt after another. Until such point, I'm out of it. I'm done. I've checked out mentally. Okay. It isn't about cutting people off right off the bat, but it's about having a boundary. Okay, you could be benevolent and still have boundaries where this is now crossed over to disrespect. Okay, once it crosses over to disrespect, you've got to check within yourself, what the fuck am I doing? Where are my boundaries? Why am I letting people or this person step over me? This is not permissible. Okay, a boundary in a relationship is simply saying, this is who I am. This is my individuality. If you want to be in a relationship with me, okay, you're going to respect those boundaries. Otherwise, we don't have a relationship. You would not respect a person without any boundaries, one that lets you get away with anything and cheating and spending your money and doing this, that, and the other, and still being an asshole to you. I'm just saying, this is like a radical example. Uh, but you wouldn't entertain such a person. Or maybe you would for a little bit, but then you'd be like, you know what? Kind of had it. You're not worth it, kind of situation. Okay. So this is why this is imperative. You're respecting yourself. You're respecting the status of the golden Buddha. Okay. Again, in the beginning, for a people pleaser, it will feel harsh. It will feel like, oh my God, what am I doing? What you're doing is you're setting up boundaries. What you're doing is respecting your energy. You're not an unlimited source of, well-doing and well-being, and not well-being, unlimited source of well-being for sure, but unlimited source of generosity for other people who do not praise you for that, who do not appreciate that. So if that is the case, you need to cut back. I'm going to respect myself, and this is my boundary. I no longer overgive. I no longer put up with this. I no longer do. Yeah, I did that for a number of years, but I no longer do that. Do you know how sexy that is? And do you know how fast people start paying attention? Oh, what's that? My old tricks don't work anymore? Well, I better level up my game. And if that person levels up their game, then they could stay around for a little bit. But other than that, no, thank you. And I feel like a lot of you, you owe this to yourself. You owe this to yourself to step outside your comfort zone and take a look at what you have permitted other people to treat you as. Okay. If this has been going on for quite some time, today is such a day to cut that behavior off, and don't feel bad. Like I said, you're saving your energy, you're putting up a boundary. Now, every situation is different. Um, it may not be so dramatic. It may just be, something that you can gently adjust. But overall, with people pleasers, I notice this pattern that they continue entertaining a behavior from another person that they themselves would not put on another person. You yourself would not behave towards this person. Why are you putting up with this shit towards yourself? It's not an even exchange. It's disrespectful. Okay. Excuse me. Number 6, and everything else that is entailed with boundaries. Number 6, separate yourself from your past experiences. Don't start identifying with your experiences so much so that you you bring them with you everywhere you go. Okay? Your experiences of the past made you into who you are. Hopefully you learn from them. In my coaching, for certain, we go through all the intricacies of those situations, and we derive new perspectives, new lessons if they haven't been downloaded. Forgiveness takes place, etc., etc. But that you're separate from this experience, and that your golden Buddha status and your hottest chick in the game or hottest dude in the game status is untouchable, that's for shit sure. You don't owe anybody an explanation. You don't owe anybody an apology for becoming somebody different, even overnight, for having to choose to put up boundaries towards people who disrespected you in the past, for having changed your mind about something else that you no longer want to be a part of, for behaving like a golden Buddha and just respecting yourself and not treating yourself less than. You don't owe anybody an explanation. You don't owe anybody an apology. What's wrong? I'm respecting myself. What do you mean, what is wrong? Nothing's wrong. Oh, you've changed. How so? Oh, well, you're different. Well, I'm loving myself more. Is that okay? Because if it's not, we're probably not going to get along. But I'm telling you that in the eyes of SP, in the romantic sense, in the business sense, in every sense, the people that are really going to take you there to the higher ground, to the higher frequency, that version of a person is not going to mind that you just put up boundaries, is not going to mind that you producing a different behavior. Okay, so separating yourself from the past and starting on a new journey, even today, as soon as you're done, watching this live, this is something, again, no coach can do for you. Only you can do. In sessions, I advise till the cows come home, and whether or not the client takes action on it, I can never, make anybody do something. I mean, 99% of the time they do, but in that sense, I can't do it for you. You have to do it yourself. So these things of separation of this is my past and now I'm acting differently, and therefore I'm respecting myself more, with the understanding that I'm the hottest chick in the game. Therefore, hello, how are you? We need to redecorate. Metaphorically speaking, we need to redecorate our headquarters of the hottest chick in the game or the hottest dude in the game. And therefore, if we're redecorating, metaphorically speaking, okay, we have a whole other new situation. We have a whole new outlook on life. This leads me, excuse me, so thirsty when I talk. Excuse me. What is the overall tonality in your world? What music are you playing in your world? And I say music because it's just the overall, you can hear it in the background. It's the assumption, the overall assumption about the world, about who you are, the universe at large, whatever. The overall tune, the overall tonality. This you need to notice. It's in the background constantly there, like an assumption, like an invisible assumption. What kind of music are you playing right now? Are you waiting on something? Are you waiting for someone? Are you saying, how come it's not here? Ba ba ba? Or do you truly understand that you're the hottest chick in the game? And if it is to be, it is up to me. Now, you're not going to muscle it into existence, no, but you are going to do something in terms of energy. You're energetically understanding that you don't need to try so hard. You don't need to work so hard. The work is entirely internal. It's the acceptance that I don't need to work so hard to get what I want, to get exactly what I want. But this work, excuse me, is worth all the work in the fucking world, in my opinion. Because you can be slaving away at your job or at your relationship, or you can have it easy and effortlessly once you realize that you've been selling yourself short. If if your self-concept, if your belief system tells you that you're any less than the hottest chick in the game, if when I say this, you're the hottest chick in the game, it hits you like, I don't know. Or if I say you're the hottest dude in the game, you're like, I don't know. Like right there. Okay. That's the work. The only person you need to convince of you being the hottest chick or the dude in the game is you. And again, the walls stay the same. You appear the same, you have the same name, in whatever people's eyes, you have the same past, maybe blah 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 boo, things they say they know about you. You don't know anything about anybody, because anybody can become, or start becoming at the very least, this golden Buddha that maybe you haven't ever allowed yourself to be, ever. And so then what? You don't know anything about anybody, because if what you're doing right now feels like selling yourself short, you don't know yourself yet. You don't know what you're capable of. You don't know the kind of reaction you can get, excuse me, from your SP, from anybody, from people you work with. You don't. You have so much power over people, you have no idea. And you're not using it simply because you haven't recognized that it is for you to command. It is for you to dictate how your life will go. Nothing to do with necessarily with other people, but towards you, this is how they will act. And you're the one who's supposed to lay down the law. They're not going to do it for you. So you're never in the waiting stage. You're never in the, oh my God, let's see what happens stage. You are either doing it or you're not doing it. You either know that you're the hottest chick in the game, or you really have no clue. Or you're just taking a rest. Sometimes you don't feel like manifest. Sometimes I don't feel like manifesting, quite frankly. I just need to fucking rest, ventilate my brain. So, but it's never on pause. It's either one or the other thing is happening, symbolically and simplistically speaking. Either one reality is playing out or the other. Okay? But both are available at the same time. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. I've spoken for so long, almost an hour. Finally, celebrate your individuality. Again, wherever you're coming from, whatever you look like, whatever the weight is right now, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You're starting where you're starting. This is who you are. This is your individuality. Celebrate it. Celebrate it for who you are. Like, I gave you an example. I don't know, maybe during a live or maybe during a video, that a couple of my boyfriends, my drug addict ex for sure, made fun of how I'd speak. And he would say, excuse me, he would say, "Oh, you have an accent." Well, no shit, I have an accent. Of course I have an accent. What's wrong with you? Um, But he would make fun of me and say, "Oh, you sound like an immigrant and this and that. Why is that bad?" You know, but he was making it sound like I'm illiterate, I'm stupid, and this and that. Kind of like to bring down my self-esteem to control me. But today, and not just today, ever since I've left him, you know, the way I speak and the way I pronounce things, and he was always correcting me, you know, how to pronounce things and this and that. Not that I ever needed it. Like I've had brilliant professors in my high school in Monaco. Like I had a teacher from London. All my teachers were from London, actually. Now that I think about, one of them was from America, and that's how I learned how to speak English. I mean, since I was 6 years old. So anyway, but yet here he was, and he was trying to convince me that there was something wrong with me, and that was trying to take away from my individuality. But it, ever since I've left him, every single guy that I dated was like, "Oh my God, you talk like I want to hear you talk for the rest of my life or something." And actually, a couple of them suggested to me, "Why don't you do a podcast?" But that was ages ago. I didn't, I wasn't thinking about anything like that back then. Didn't have the confidence either. So you see, one interpretation was that somebody was trying to convince me that I sounded like an idiot, and another, the real truth, the golden Buddha status, the real truth of my being was that this is how I speak. I should celebrate it. And maybe you have something like this, like today, that you're insecure about, but that's actually your power. That actually makes you an individual. That actually makes you fucking beautiful. Okay. And if you've so far somebody convinced you that this is imperfection, that something's wrong with you, that this is to be done away with, and this and that. No, stop 1 second, wait a minute, take a look, and really be honest. Who is talking? What kind of issues are they projecting onto you? And it's like, I deal with this in coaching every day, all day long. People projecting, excuse me, people taking in what somebody else told them who didn't have a high self-esteem to begin with. Okay, like for example, I'll give my example. I'm sure you have your own. My mother is probably like the most insecure person, because every narcissist is. They're really just, um anyway, you know all about narcissists. They're really insecure is what it is, and this is why they act this way. She was always projecting her own bullshit on me and criticizing me and comparing herself to me because she was deeply insecure. So I grew up thinking that I was ugly, quite frankly, that I was not attractive and this and that. But I had to find out the real truth. And so this is something maybe today that you really need to find out and take a second look and say, maybe, but just maybe, what I've been taught so far is just not true. It's just not true. It's just not true. Okay. Maybe what was criticized and what I was bullied for, okay, is actually a benefit, an asset, something that makes me unique. This makes me irreplaceable, recognizable. This is my trademark. This is what makes me me. Okay. This I really have to put in. So, this now, ladies and gentlemen, gives you a beautiful image of, let's run through it, shall we? Behavior produces behavior. Become independent and self-sufficient. Mentally accept you're the golden Buddha and the hottest chick in the game. Physically embody what you want to, what you want to look like, what it looks like, your life, the entirety of it. Boundaries, separate yourself from experiences, and celebrate your individuality. This is the makings of a hottest chick in the game, or the hottest dude in the game. One that again doesn't give a shit about what the world thinks of it, because he or she tells the world what to think of them, because this is how they operate from now on. They project into the universe what they thinking about themselves. It's still happening now, just in reverse. In other words, your SP, your darling SP, or your darling money, or whatever it happens to be, is ready to rock and roll when you are. You just happen to be in confusion. You're confused right now. the place that you hold in your life. You confuse the role that you're playing. Once you unconfuse yourself and you take over the reins of the golden Buddha and the hottest chick in the game, everything will fall into place magically. But magically, I tell you, this is what it's supposed to look like. As soon as you're done, and this I have written down because forgive me, I like to write things. As soon as you're done with chewing the chewing gum of the old version of you, which is necessary, and I sympathize. This is what kind of like the metaphor is, to process all the emotions and to talk about all the things that bother you. But as soon as you're done processing all of that and parting with that and separating yourself, everything is right there waiting for you. Like I already said, that parallel reality is right there for you. In that sense, that chance never left you. It's right there for you to take a chance on it today. Like I said, if you want to mentally shift yourself to the receiver, and by God, you're overdue to receive by now. You've been giving and giving and putting up with shit and this and any other for nobody's fucking business. This is not how life is supposed to be lived. Okay, this is why you're here. This is why you perhaps are suffering today. So, but this is your life, and this is your love life, I assume. This you owe yourself. Listen, your love life can really build you up or just destroy you. And you really need to become the number one fan of yours, not in a narcissistic way, but truly, purely loving yourself and giving yourself the permission to act on your golden Buddha status, then expecting your SP to appear in that way. Not like, for example, I gave you, I said that I had a couple of people that I met in when I was not, hadn't yet begun to even wonder about uh, inner work or self work, none of that. I mean, I knew that I was really impacted by my mom, kind of vaguely, I knew that, but I hadn't done any work on myself yet. And I sabotaged. I distinctly, right now, I can remember of two guys that were ready to marry me, just ready to rock. And like and it was quick too. Like we met, let's just say one of them I can think of right now. We met in May. By July, he was ready to marry me. He introduced me to his family and this whole fucking situation. And believe me, it was like a really well-to-do family. But I was on my own fucking situation, over there in my head, and I fucked it up, But it's okay because I'm here now. And I'm sure he's doing very well also. So, but that's what it is. When you're not playing the golden Buddha, you sabotage things for yourself that are right there for you. When you start looking at yourself as the hottest chick, watch how all of this turns around in your favor and everybody comes to you in their best version possible because now you are. Now you are, and you're not accepting anything less than. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. Go ahead and rewatch if you like and take notes. Again, I want to remind you, everybody, the seminar is next Saturday, okay, at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be discussing beliefs. If you have some recommendations for me on what to hold the seminar, maybe energy work, what have you, la di da. I figured we'd start with beliefs, but again, I'm always open to your suggestion because it's all about you here. So, hey. And the video school for those who cannot come into coaching. And for those who need coaching, listen, I would really hurry up and book that, truth be told. I did say before the end of the year, I would not be coaching one-on-one. So here's how that would go. By the way, I meant to say, mention this, and thank goodness that I just remembered that the old clients, and by the old clients, I mean that if I already know you, you've been through my coaching, you will still have access to me past that point. But if you're new, I would hurry up and book, okay, so that you can at least get your foot in the door, so to speak, because reality is I do spend 2 to 3 months on average with each person. So the time to book is now. We're in May. All right, we probably have like around 6 more months to go of my coaching on YouTube. So if you've been thinking about it, the time to book is now. Okay, so maybe there'll be a wait, slight wait. So this is the right time to do it. All right, if you've been thinking about it. All right, so you know where to reach me. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, ciao ciao, big kiss.